Yeah, it is a report of subcommittee on the Constitution it's quite long, of Committee on the Judiciary. It's a February of 1982 report.
Yeah, we'll get that Senate report on the Second Amendment up. Thank you. We're doing some research on this Andrew Purcell in the Austin Chronicle. We're wanting to make sure it's the same Andrew Purcell that is the head of the Events Center. We're just going to leave it at that for right now. You might want to look into the name Andrew Purcell, P-E-R-K-E-L. We're going to see if that's the same person. We need to call him and see if that's the same 14-year veteran who got indicted in 2006. Now he's playing good cop, bad cop with people. So we're gonna find out what's going on here, because we're on the case now. We're on the case. Okay, going back to Darwin Boedeker, who runs the Texas Gun Show, texasgunshow.net. You said you're getting calls during the breaks from vendors and people that are saying they're going to come out and support you. Finish up that story, and then I interrupted you earlier when you tried to bring up people bringing up my name at the front gate when they were coming in, seeing the notice.
Yes, sir. Actually, while we were on this interview, our business phone rang, and my mother is actually the person that takes reservations. She said that a vendor called and requested 3 tables at our next Austin show, and he's never done one of our shows. But what made me feel good was he said that he wished his son would have turned out like me, which actually made me feel good for all those people that have been sending all the hate email thinking it was my doing, that it actually feels good to actually get the story out.
Well, look, we've shot down politically a bunch of the czars that Obama tried to appoint. Others he appointed are even worse, openly saying ban free speech, Second Amendment. If we use the gun shows as political centers of the Declaration of Independence and liberty and got people organized to defend local gun rights on a city and county basis, that's why they hate it. They hate our gun culture, our 1776 liberty culture coming together. And so if all the vendors will start, and I guarantee a lot of them are listening right now all over Texas and the country, if people from even other states will come to your event coming up, and even if they try some nasty thing and shut it down, we'll meet in the parking lot and have a rally. And come there and pass the hat for your legal lawsuit. And if everybody will get a bunch of tables, people that sell books, videos, people that sell Beanie Babies. It's not just guns that are sold. Every Austin gun store needs to come. People need to be there. They need to cram every table you've got and fill it up to let them know that they're not going to shut you down and that you're not going down without a fight. I mean, they don't have a leg to stand on anyways. And I'm going to be there next Saturday, the 3 Saturdays from now. I'm going to be there with you next month. Give us the dates next month that it's going to be at in February.
It's the third weekend of February. I don't have a calendar right in front of me, but it's the third weekend of February.
Guys, pull up February 2009.
I apologize, but
okay, that's right after my birthday. I was supposed to take my kids camping then, but camping can wait. So I never. Okay, so that's the what days again? 20th and 21st.
Yes, sir.
And that's the date. Now, again, I've spent 3.5 hours today, 3 hours, 27 minutes on this. Why? Because, folks, they're openly announcing an end to free speech, an end to everything. It's all happening. We've been completely robbed. They go intimidate people into posting notices saying you can't sell guns at this gun show in private sales. We've beaten it at the legislature, so now they're trying to go around it. This Andrew Purcell, he told you he was a veteran Austin police officer?
He didn't say veteran. He just said he used to work for the force.
Well, it may be another Andrew Purcell. There's another one in the Austin Chronicle. Give me a close shot of this, please. And it says Austin Chronicle, which is a questionable source, but no, not on issues like this. A Travis County grand jury indicted December 27th, 14-year veteran of the APD detective Andrew Perkel on one count of attempted sexual assault and a third-degree felony, one count of public lewdness, a Class A misdemeanor, and one count of indecent exposure, a Class B misdemeanor, in connection with the September 15th off-duty incident, according to a statement released by the APD. Reportedly, the alleged offense took place at a hair removal business, American Laser Center, and involved an encounter between Perkel and a as-yet unnamed Laser Center employee. Perkel's attorney, Chris Gunter, told the statesman that the charges were not true and that everything that transpired between the two people was consensual and that he had his client are anxious for a trial. So we need to look and see how that ended up. But I wonder if they're trying to use that against him as the manager of the event center. Or maybe it's another Andrew Perkel who was an APD person. Maybe. We'll have to check into that. Interesting info, huh?
Yeah, definitely.
Well,
the other thing that I was going to mention before that I really appreciate, everybody coming in saying that you were the person to contact for this, and luckily y'all contacted me, so I didn't have to even try to find out, where y'all were located. But I mean, it was hundreds and hundreds of people that threw out your name and said that this is the man that you need to get, informed. So I appreciate somebody in the position to support our rights actually, standing up and saying they're willing to do that.
Well, I appreciate that. I guess it was 2000, and they were going to pass the end of the gun show loophole. They act like it's a loophole. It's illegal. It's not. Everything's perception, and it was going to pass, and I went down, and I got a couple hundred of my listeners, and they said, you know what, you don't get to testify, even though it was an open hearing. Juan Hinojosa, the state representative, the head of the Judiciary Committee, he said, you don't get to testify. And he brought up these two black guys who got up and did like a gangster thing. They used race. They used racism, to say, yeah, we're dangerous, thugs, basically, and you need to ban guns and ban the gun show, and we buy them at the gun show. Total lie. And so Jews of Preservation of Firearms Ownership local member ran in and said, you've got a video camera, get out here. And like in a movie, this Smith guy, who's with the Violence Policy Center and Handgun Control Incorporated, was going 100, 200, 300. And that video was all over the web, crashed our servers, and I've tried to find our original tapes of it. And I think somebody did find it a year ago. Guys, Google bribery caught at Texas Capitol, Alex Jones. And so I run up with the camera, and he goes, and acts all suspicious. And then it turned out the committee got in trouble for paid testimony and all this stuff. And we barely beat the bill. But and it would have banned grandpas giving their grandsons at 22. No private gifts, no transfers of firearms. And when I really found out and then later I saw all the documents, that the NRA is actually an anti-gun group, and that Charlton Heston, who I was a fan of and interviewed, was hired in 68 to do TV ads saying we need the 68 Gun Control Act. People didn't know that. And he later said that was wrong to do. But the point is that their board is run, if they're going to get our guns, they can't let us have a group with 10 million members or whatever. They've got to have it controlled. And they called me an extremist and said the bill was good in the Dallas Morning News to ban gun shows. And to ban junior shooting sports. But the point is, I have to always march down and defeat this myself with the help of my listeners. Anybody else out there can start fighting this and catching it. I mean, it just takes the willingness to resist these people. And people are scared of the BATF. I mean, they burn down churches. But you know what? You've got to stand up against them. They can't stop us all. And so you're saying hundreds of people said this was the show to get on.
Absolutely. That's why other people have called me and they want to do interviews and stuff too. But once I found out that you were interested in it, I wanted to make sure that you got the full details first.
Well, sir, I appreciate you. I'm not tooting my horn. I'm talking about the power of our listeners.
Absolutely.
And do as many interviews as you can and just bullet point. This is racketeering. I mean, this is slimy like out of communist China. Let's talk to Kenneth in Indiana. We already talked to Kenneth that I keep calling Keith. Keith that I keep calling Kenneth. I'm looking at a screen way across the room. I mean, I may be losing my eyesight here. Rick in Tennessee, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hey, Alex, how you doing?
I'm pretty freaked out, but I'm glad people are rallying against this. I mean, this is unprecedented.
Yeah, I have a couple quick comments and then a big question for you. First of all, one of my local gun dealers here in Tennessee was at that show. I can't get a hold of him today because of the holiday, so I will get a hold of him first thing in the morning and try to have him contact you. Second of all, I think we have a duty to debrief and re-educate the citizens of the United States because we're being micromanaged so much that it's going to start with guns, CPS, bows, knives, etc.
Oh, they've announced all U.S. citizens will have 3 yearly CPS visits. All Head Start people to put their kids in it get 3 CPS visits. Guilty until proven innocent. I mean, it is an iron curtain of tyranny.
Well, I had a run-in with CPS here about a month ago, and once I went into their office and started tape recording the conversation, things changed. And then the fact that